So let us practice a question on Tally Prime, and this is how our screen appears when we are starting the Tally Prime and we are to continue in the educational mode. So this is the screen that is appearing here, and let us see the question. This is the question that we are going to solve using Tally Prime. Um, Before starting with the question, let us first create the company. Now all the details will be given here. Like it says that create a company in TelePrime using the following details: name, your name and university roll number, address, your mobile number, email ID is given, currency symbol is rupees. Now we are to create the company with an office in Delhi for GST number 07AAAP45 up to ZA. Now, when we are creating a company, it's very important that we create the company with the proper GST number. Now, let us start here. So, the first step, which is create company. So, herein we are going with the F3 key, that is create company. Now, when we click on this is how the screen appears. Now we are to remember the instructions. So the company is going to be with our name followed by university roll number. So SK, let us say my number is 1234. So mailing address is my own address. So I'm writing my name as it is, and maybe my address is say XYZ. Then the address, you can give the details. State. Now question says that state is going to be Delhi. It's important because GST is applicable state wise, so we need to be very careful while uh, recording this. Now pin code we can write as per the instructions given: telephone number, mobile number, email, website. I am just deleting these informations for the time being. I am ignoring it, but you can write these information as per the requirement. Okay. Now the next is the financial year. Since we are working in the educational mode, so the year as is given will be taken. We are not going to change anything in this. Books beginning from same date as it is. Now base symbol and formal name, right? So the company is created. So it says accept. So just check the details. Maybe something is amiss, or maybe there is some mistake in the numbers that you have written. So you can do the corrections by going back, and there is a button called escape on the keyboard. So by escape we go back, and by enter we move on. So now accept yes here. So this is how your company details are shown here. So company is created successfully. Now we can enable the features as per our requirements. We are not to make many changes here. Now some of you might not be having the whole screen with all these features coming up. So you can get this screen by adjusting the mouse here. See, it says show more features. I have written here yes. Show all features, it's yes. So that is why it is showing all the features. So when you have a screen wherein all these features are not coming, just go backspace. Now when you go backspace, then you see it is asking you, do you want to have more features? Do you want to show all features? In that case, if all features are not coming, this button will be no. So we'll bring it to yes, and yes, click it. So your features will be appearing here. Now when we are to enter the features, or we can say configure the company features, we are to remember we are to maintain accounts. Yes. So using arrow keys I am going down. Enable bill wise entry. Now when we have bill wise entry, then your question will be requiring you to fill in a lot many details which are not at all needed under educational mode. This information, enable bill wise entry, the information bill wise entry is important when we are working in a real life scenario, but in educational mode it is not needed. It will be requiring us to put in a lot of information which is not given and not needed. So nothing else. Now maintain inventory, yes. Integrate accounts with inventory, yes. Okay, now rest is all no, we do not need batches or job order processing, etc. These are all complex issues involved in real life scenario. Now, enable GST, yes. Set company details. Now, herein, when we enable the GST, it asks us a lot of information. So, state is Delhi, that is fine. You are a regular, you can say GST person. Assessee of other territories, no. Now, GST number. So, you are given in your problem the GST number. So, this is the number given. Just copy this number, or when you are writing it from your question, then be careful while recording this information. Now, rest is again, this number is invalid because this is just a question for educational purposes. It's not a real number. Okay. Periodicity of GSTR, monthly or quarterly, you can write any if your question is saying something, otherwise just enter. GST username not needed, mode of filing not needed. These are all informations needed in a real scenario. But herein we don't need it. Rest all will be taken as it is. E-way bill applicable, yes. Date is given. Applicable for intrastate, yes. And accept. Okay, so we come back to the original screen of your configuration. Then enable TDS, no. Enable TDS, tax collected at source, VAT, excise, service tax, nothing at all is needed. Our questions will be including GST. Okay, browser access for reports, yes. Then other remote access, etc. No. Payroll, no. All right, so nothing else is needed. Now, when we have made the changes, you see the changes. Only number one, enable bill-wise entry, it is no. Okay, only yes for the accounts. Then herein in the inventory, maintain inventory and integrate inventory with the accounts. These two are yes, rest is no. Enable GST, yes, rest is no. Enable browser access for reports, yes, rest is all no. So press enter and accept. So your company has been created, and the present company is appearing here in bold. That means this company is the one wherein we will be working. Now, after creating the company, next step is to create the masters. So in Gateway of Tele, which is the primary screen for any company, under masters we can create, alt, or chart of accounts. Three options we have. So we are to create the accounts here. So let us see the question. Now, when you are creating accounts, please remember that Tally comes inbuilt with two accounts, that is P&L and cash in hand. These two accounts are inbuilt in your system, so we do not need to create these accounts, rather these are altered. We are to alter the account because we need to give in the information about the balance. Secondly, your sundry debtors and your sundry creditors. These will be including a list of the persons, like herein debtors include Amita and Sumita, creditors include Rama and Jaya. So you have the list, and each person will be having separate GST number. So these accounts will be created individually. Okay. Finally, the stocks. Again, stock is something which is to be created in a separate ledger. So, stock will also be created separately. So, leaving aside these five, rest of the accounts can be created in one go in the ledgers, and you can just remember the amounts. Usually, in exams, we have the question given to us in hard copy, so therein we can mark that we have these accounts to be created, and we'll create them according to the information. So if we look at the liability side, we have capital, reserve and surplus, debentures, rent outstanding and bills payable. So these five accounts are there which we will be creating in Tally. So how do we do this? Go to chart of accounts. Then ledgers, we are to create ledgers. Now this is the list of ledgers that we have here. The basic broad categories are given to us, and in the categories you see in cash in hand, cash account is available, and here in P&L account is available, because these two are inbuilt accounts in the Tally software. Rest of the categories are given, but within the categories we have to create the ledgers. So we create all the ledgers in one go. How do we do this? Go to multi-masters, all right, and go for multi-create. Now we can create all accounts in one go. So under the group all items, we'll be having the name of the ledger. So if you remember, our first ledger account was capital. Name of the ledger. Now under what category? So when we write the capital, the category comes capital accounts, and its balance was 8 lakh. Right. Now move on to the next. You have reserve and surplus, and the category of the reserves and surplus is going to be now herein there is some issue with the keys, so I need to be very careful while writing the amounts. All right, so the category is reserve, all right, and then the balance of reserve and surplus was 1 lakh. That is it. Next was 3% debentures. All right. Now the category of debentures is that this is a liability which is unsecured loan. So there are two types of loans in case you see here, secured loan and unsecured loan. Regarding the debentures, we are not given whether these are secured or unsecured, so we can add them in the unsecured loans category. The amount of loan was debentures under this was 1 lakh. All right. Next is rent outstanding. Now after writing the account name, when we there is some issue with the keys here. Okay, so the category of rent outstanding is that it is a current liability. Okay, so the amount was 50,000. Okay, next was bills payable. Now its category is also current liabilities. So amount is again 50,000. All right, so we have created all the accounts here from the liability side. Now from the asset side we have SBI Bank. Next is Axis Bank 150. Another account here is furniture and fixture 5 lakh and investments 1 lakh. So 4 accounts are there which can be created in multi-masters, and rest of the accounts will be created or altered separately. Again coming to this sheet, in the multi-masters we are creating the accounts. So our account was SBI Bank. So its category is going to be bank accounts. In case you have overdraft, then you will be having overdraft account. Its balance was 2,90,000. Then you have Axis Bank. Debit. Then you have Axis Bank. Now one more thing is here, that when you are recording the information and you put in the category, you need to be careful that the right category is being given. Now that check can be done as when you press the amount, it says debit, and we know that bank account should have a debit balance. Then the next account was furniture and fixture. And its category is going to be fixed assets. And the amount is 5 lakh. And the next account was Axis Bank 150. Another account here is furniture and fixture. And its category is going to be fixed assets. And the amount is 5 lakh. And the next account was furniture and fixture. And its category is going to be fixed assets. And the amount is 5 lakh. Next is investment. Investment, its category is investments. Now through the arrow keys we can move on to the category that we want. Amount is 1 lakh. Okay, so we have completed the list. 9 items have been recorded here, 9 accounts have been created. If we look at the question, we know that 1, 2, 3, 4 from the asset side and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the liability side must have been created, and we have done that. So this part of accounts creation is over. Now we can press enter. It asks us accept yes, so accept it. Now these accounts are created. Now the next thing is that we are to alter the two accounts. As I told you that cash and P&L are inbuilt, so we need to alter them. So we come to the alteration. For that purpose, again see, we are on the gateway of Tally, Masters, Alter. So in the alter, in the ledgers, it shows all the ledger accounts available. So you have here cash account. Now no change here except for the amount. So we'll have to see what was the cash amount. Cash in hand is 50,000 and P&L is 1 lakh. So 50,000 is recorded debit balance. That's right. Okay, next is P&L. No change here except for the amount. 1 lakh was there. Okay, let me just check it again. Yes, P&L 1 lakh. All right. So a credit balance, accept it. All right. Now we are to create the remaining accounts. So for this, we'll create them individually. Create ledger. So we are to create these debtors and creditors accounts. So now you see P&L account has been altered. So I am just removing this highlighter here. We are left with 3 information. So debtors and creditors. Let us start with the debtors first. So our first debtor is Amita with this GST number. I am just copying it here. Amita 1 lakh sundry debtors. And we need to check the location because accordingly CGST, GST, etc. is put in. So Amita is having here CGST, SGST, and we know that CGST, SGST is available when the person is from the same state. So for Amita, the state that we are going to record there is Delhi, because as per the information it appears that the person is from Delhi. So now come here, we'll be creating account Amita under the category sundry debtors. Name Amita, state Delhi, right? Because we had initially entered Delhi, so it is giving us Delhi as an option. And since CGST, SGST is applicable, so state is right, Delhi. Pin code, no need. Now herein you see registration. When we come to registration type, it's unknown or regular or unregistered. So we are working for the regular. A registered person is called regular GST type. Okay, then we enter, it asks us GST number. So this is written here. All right. Now what is the balance here? The balance is 1 lakh. All right. Now the next person is Sumita. Okay. Sumita 50,000, and again checking the location of Sumita. Just look at the transactions. Yes, Sumita IGST is given, which means that Sumita is not from the same state, because when you have interstate transactions, then IGST is applicable. So Sumita is not placed in Delhi, so some other state will be entered. State name is not given here. Sumita 50,000 sundry debtor. So let us create the account Sunita sundry debtor. Name is same. Now the place is going to be not Delhi. If we are given the location, then we will put in that location, enter that. Otherwise we can enter any other state but not Delhi, because this person is having IGST. Okay, we recorded the number also. and the amount of Sumita was 50,000. All right, accepted. Now the next person is Rama, and this is our creditor. Sundry creditor Rama 160. Sundry creditor Rama 160. Rama. Again CGST, SGST, that means person is from Delhi. Sundry creditor Rama. So now we are creating Rama's account. Now this person is sundry creditor. Okay, Rama. Person is from Delhi, that is fine. Its GST number and amount was, let us check this again, 160. So 160. All right. Next person is Jaya. Jaya 140. Okay. Let us look at the location of Jaya. Jaya is IGST. So Jaya is not from Delhi. Jaya 140, but it's not from Delhi. So Jaya. Sundry creditor is fine, but the person is not from Delhi. So let it be from Gujarat. And regular. This we are to fill in regular GST number, and then finally the amount, and the amount was 140, 1,40,000. Enter. Okay, so now we have created all the sundry debtors and creditor account. Now look here at this right side. It's giving us the difference in the two sides of the balance sheet. The difference is 260. Our balance sheet should match. So we know that we have left one account, that is stock, and you see stock 260 is something that we have not yet recorded. Okay, so that is the difference which is showing up there. So now we are to create the stock account. Stock balance 260. All right. Now when we look at the stocks, for stocks the information is recorded in the stock ledgers. Okay. So now we'll go to inventory masters. In the same master creation, we are to go to inventory masters. First of all, we'll define the groups. Now your groups are, look at the question, traditional wear and modern wear, and we have the quantity, that is sherwani, suit. So this will be in numbers. The quantity can be in numbers, meters, liters, as is given, or in units or number of pieces. So traditional wear and modern wear. Let us create the groups. So traditional wear. Okay. Now the category is primary. Should the quantities be added? So be careful. Herein we will be writing yes, because the stock is measurable in quantities. Now HSN etc. these are specific details of GST. So we don't need to touch this because we are not given these. Now GST rate is important. Remember here. So GST rate and related details are to be recorded here. So GST rate is as per the company groups. So we'll have to specify the details here. So specify details. Now when we enter this, it asks taxability type. So it is taxable, yes. Options were exempt, nil, non-GST and taxable. So this is taxable. Now what are the rates? So rates, if you remember, 6%, 6%, that means IGST is 12, and once we enter IGST, it automatically splits this into 6 and 6, half half for both. Accepted. Now the next category is modern wear. So let us write this modern wear, and the category under primary. Quantities, remember quantities are to be added because our stock is in numbers, pieces. So HSN etc. is not needed, but GST rate we are to, details are to given here. So specify details here. Once you enter this, it makes the taxable type taxable. Okay, then the rates are to be mentioned. So 12% in this problem, for convenience only single is mentioned. Okay, both the groups have been formed. Now escape, move back. After stock group, we are to create the units. Now our quantities are in pieces. So the type is simple. Symbol for pieces is PCS, and the formal name is going to be pieces. Okay, so unit of the quantity as per the coding. These are the codes given in the system. So somewhere here you will be finding pieces. Yes, this is here. So click on this. Number of decimal places, of course, 0, because pieces are counted in absolute numbers. So we have created units. That is fine. Okay, now go back. Now create stock items. Now our stock items are, from the question you see, you have Sherwani, which is in traditional wear, 500 rupees and 200 units. Okay, 1 lakh amount is given in all. Sometimes you see rate and quantity is given, amount is not given, then the system will calculate it. Sometimes the quantity and total value is given, then the system will automatically give you the rate. Another is Pathani suit, again in the traditional, 1000 rupees, 100 units. All right, this is 100 units. Then third is smart casuals under modern wear, 600 rupees is the price and 100 units are there, 60,260. So let us enter this. Okay, so the first thing was Sherwani. Now, what is the category? The category was traditional wear. Okay, so we'll be adjusting this here, traditional wear. Now the units are of course applicable. It is in pieces. Okay, so GST is applicable. Now we don't need to make any changes further. HSN as per company stock groups, GST as per company stock groups, and you see automatically it is giving you rate because we have written in the groups. So it has already taken this from the groups. Now type of supply is goods. There are three type of supplies: capital goods, goods and services. So this one is goods, so we'll take goods. Press enter, duty is not here. So the balance of Sherwani was 200 units, 200 pieces at the rate of 500 each. So the value is 1 lakh. It has automatically given us, except if the amount is not coming, then we can activate calculator through control N. Control N is the key for that. Now second item creation is Pathani suit. Pathani suit. This is also under the category traditional wear. So pieces are applicable. So once we feed in one information, the same comes back. All right. Now we are just to check the things. If any information is incorrect, then we will correct it. All right. So this was 100 pieces of 1000 rupees each. So the amount is 1 lakh, accepted. Third one was smart casuals. So smart casuals, um, smart casuals. Now under the category modern wear. Again, pieces are applicable, GST applicable, and see it has already given rate because we have mentioned that in the groups. Now its quantity was 100 units of 600 rupees each. Okay, so that gives us accepted, yes. Now go back, escape from this screen. Now we are to be sure that we have recorded everything, so we can check the balance sheet. You just look at the balance sheet and you can compare it with your question. Now the balance sheet total is 15 lakh. The question is also giving us the balance sheet total of 15 lakh. So this one is fine. We can check the details also. So coming to this screen, now how do we get the detailed information? So we press Alt on the keyboard. When we press, look here on the right side. When you press Alt, then this F5 is highlighted. Click on this. So this is the detailed balance sheet. So the second step is over. We have created company. We have created the ledgers. Now the next thing is we are to pass journal entries, that is voucher entry. Now see, we are given all these transactions. Now when we are to pass journal entries, we might be needing some more accounts. Now sometimes students prefer that they can create accounts within the entry. You can pass this, do this while passing the journal entry, that option comes. But it's better to create all the accounts in one go again in the multi-masters, so that our time is saved. So just go through all the transactions and see if any new account is needed, then we will create it. So first transaction is goods purchased. Now when we purchase the goods, our entry includes purchase account. So we will create purchase account. Now purchase return account is not created. For this we have a debit note being given. Then goods sold for cash. So we should have sales account. Then you have goods sold to Amita, goods purchased, purchase sale we have already done. Now it is having GSTs also, so we need to create SGST, CGST and IGST accounts. Then the purchases, now outstanding rent paid through check. So we have the outstanding rent account, we have the bank account. Payment made to Rama in full settlement. Now when we make payment in full settlement, it means that we are paying something lesser. So we have received some discount, or we have allowed some discount in the full settlement transactions. So when you make payment to Rama 2,40,000, it means you have received discount, which is your income, because you are paying lesser. So discount received account will be created. Goods returned by Amita, so it's a sales return, so a credit note will be issued. Goods sold all investments. Now when you sell off all investments, investments were of 1 lakh, but you have sold it for how much? 70. So we need to create loss on sale of investment account. Paid freight, so freight account is to be opened. Then received from Sumita and full settlement, so discount allowed, because you allowed discount. Then interest on debentures, and finally this is interest paid, so interest account and depreciation account. So all these accounts are needed to be created. So in all, around 10-12 accounts are there. If you keep on creating these accounts one by one in the voucher entries, it is likely to take a lot of time. So just remember again, how do we create lot of accounts in one go? Go to chart of accounts, go to ledgers. Now this is showing all the ledgers. Now come here, multi-masters. Okay, multi-masters, multi-create. Okay, now under all items, we will create all the accounts which we have discussed. So let us say purchases, purchase account. Okay, purchase. There's some problem in my system. Sometimes the keys do not work. Purchase. Okay, now category of purchase is purchase accounts. Okay, purchase accounts. There is no balance here. You see, we won't write any balance because these are needed in the question. These were not there. Sales, for sales category is sales account. Then you have the amount. We won't write any amount here. Okay, then you have all the, say, IGST. I've just written the list and I'll just be writing this IGST. And the category for taxes is duties and taxes. Okay, then you have SGST. Again the category is duties and taxes. Then you have CGST. The category is duties and taxes. Then you had another account, discount allowed. Just checking this. Discount allowed. Now what will be the category? It will be indirect expense. Okay, you allowed this discount to someone while receiving the amount. Then another was discount received. Okay, so discount received is going to be your indirect income. All right. Then you have loss on sale of investment. Sale of investment. Again, it's your indirect expense. Had there been profit, it will be an income. Then you have freight. Now, freight was on sales, so it's an indirect expense. Had it been on the purchases, then it will be a direct expense. Then you had interest on debentures. Interest on debentures. Again, indirect expense. All right. Then you have depreciation. Depreciation, indirect expense. All right, so we have created all the accounts in the question. So let us escape. Now we are to pass the journal entry, so we come to voucher entries. So these are all the vouchers here. Look at the right side: contra, payment, receipt, journal, sales, purchase. Then other vouchers include credit note, debit note, etc. So you can select the voucher for your transaction. So let us take up the transactions one by one and pass journal entries. Now our first transaction is you have purchased goods from Rama. Now, what have you purchased? Just have a look here. Sherwani. Sherwani, 100 units of 500 each. Then smart casual, that is 100 units of 600 each. And there is 6% plus 6% CGST, SGST. So, what will be the voucher? Since it's a purchase, so we will be using purchase voucher with for the person Rama. Okay, let us pass the entry. This is purchase voucher. Okay, we clicked on this. Now this is the voucher appearing. Now what is the party name? The name of the party was Rama. Okay, Rama. All right, it is asking a lot of information. Just flip through this. We don't need this. All right, this is all we are just writing. Now purchase leisure. So what are the items you purchased? Sherwani. So when you write here Sherwani, the option comes here. And it also shows the quantity. So you have purchased another 100 Sherwanis at the price of 500, so 50,000. Now if your question is giving say 100 Sherwanis purchased for say 48,000, rate is not given, so then we will enter and we'll enter the amount under amount column. Automatically the rate will come, right? Let me show you. The next thing that you purchased is say smart casuals, 100 units for 600 each. So the question may say 100 units for 60,000. Now if we write it smart casuals 100 units, see smart casual come 100 units, suppose it is 60,000. It has automatically written 600 because the transaction earlier the balance was at 600. Okay, but if it's not there, it's a new amount. So we'll simply move here and we will write the amount here. Suppose the amount was not 60, say it was 70. When you enter 70, it will automatically change the rate per unit. But anyway, let us go backspace and write the correct amount 60,000. Okay, so end of the list because nothing else is purchased, only two items are purchased. So we will be writing this 1,10,000. Now we are to enter taxes. So CGST 6%, 66, SGST 6%, so 6%, 6,600. Okay, so these are the details if you want to fill in anything. Now the entry is done. Accept it, enter. All right, so this entry is done. Now let us see the next transaction. Purchase return. Directly after the purchase, return is coming. Purchase return to Rama 10 Sherwanis. 10 Sherwani, and if you look here, Sherwani was of 500 rupees each. and there was CGST, SGST also. Now for the purchases we have a debit note. Please remember purchase returns. For purchase returns, debit note is issued. So we have clicked on other vouchers, and then we had the list of the vouchers. Therein we selected debit note. What is the name of the party? Rama. Okay, leave everything, come here on the main screen. Yes, ledger account purchase. So what was the name of item? The return was of Sherwani, 10 units. So Sherwani selected, units 10. It will automatically give us the rate at which we had purchased it, but we should check it. All right, now CGST 6%. So I'm just entering 6. SGST 6%. All right, we don't need to give these details, not much detail is needed, so directly it has come to the amount. Now it's not asking for additional information. Now the next thing is next transaction. Let us look at the next transaction. Goods sold for cash sale. Okay, to Ravi. Now when it's a cash sale, then we don't need to write the name. Person is immaterial. Sherwanis 150 units at 800 and 6 plus 6 SGST, CGST. Now when there is a cash sale, what voucher will be used? For sales we have the sales voucher. So this is the sales voucher. Now what is the party's name? Party's name is immaterial here because it's on cash. So we'll be writing cash. So I clicked on cash. Okay, so it is party's name is cash. Ledger is, it gives us choice of sale, and the items are Sherwani. Sherwani, enter this. Quantity was 150 units. Okay, of 800 rupees each. Okay, now CGST 6%, SGST 6%, enter. Okay, so provide GST details? No, because it won't ask us unnecessary information then. Okay, now this is done. Next transaction, goods sold to Anita. So we have done these three. All right, I'm just highlighting this so that we know. Now next one is goods sold to Amita, fourth one. Okay, so sale to Amita, fourth one here, this one. Okay, and what are we selling? We are selling Sherwani 100 at 800 rupees each, and CGST and SGST. It's a sale, so for sales the voucher is going to be sales voucher. So sales voucher is there, it's already open. So what is the party's name? Party's name was Amita. Okay, and we come to the screen, sales ledger. Now when you come here, sales ledger, it is giving us this choice only because we have opened sales voucher. Okay, now what is the name of the item? Sherwani. Okay, enter the quantity is 100 at the price of 800. Now it has automatically written 800. You see, sometimes we are in a habit of clicking click, but we should check the amount. By default it always takes the amount previously entered, because prior to this there was a sale voucher for the sale at 800 rupees of this item. So it has automatically taken 800 rupees, but we have to check the amount is same. If this time the sale is made at some different price, we'll enter that different price. So always ensure the amounts. Okay, now see here, now you have entered first. Now you can enter any other item if you want. If you do not enter anything, then we come to end of list. This comes end of list. It means the number of items that we are buying is ending. Okay, now after end of list we'll be writing SGST 6%. Okay, then CGST 6%. Okay, so we don't need to give that much of detail to save our time. All right, entry accepted. Okay. Now the next is, let us see the next transaction. Okay, next is goods purchased from Jaya. This is the transaction. Goods purchased from Jaya. Pathani suit, 100 units at 1000 each, and smart casuals, 50 units at 900 and 12% IGST. Okay, so let us record this. Now it's a goods purchased, it means the voucher should be, I hope you know the answer for purchase, purchase voucher. Now what is the invoice number? We don't need to write it, date is not needed. Party's name, so remember party's name was Jaya. Okay, Jaya. No details here, nothing here. Okay, what was the ledger? Purchase ledger. Now write the items. So we had Pathani suit. Pathani suit, how many? 100 suits at the price of 1000. Automatically it is taking 1000 while entering because previously the rate was 1000. Okay, now the next is smart casuals. Okay, so it is 50 units at 900. Now when we enter 50, see, it has taken the price as 600 automatically because previously this item was purchased at 600. But this time the price is 900, so we will record it at 900. Automatically the amount is changing here. Now we come to the end of the list. Now it is IGST. Okay, press enter, 12%. Okay, so not much detail is needed. All right, accepted. Next, outstanding rent paid through check. Now if the rent is paid through check, okay, so we have two bank accounts, remember? Now we'll have to see which bank account is used here. See, it says that all purchase sale is through SBI and any other payment is through Axis Bank or cash. So in this transaction, outstanding rent paid, so this is any other transaction and it is through check. So which bank we shall be using? We will be using Axis Bank for the same. Okay, so rent paid, which voucher shall we be using? Just think of the voucher, outstanding rent paid. It's a payment. Okay, so for the payment voucher. Selection of voucher is very simple and logical. If you are paying something, we use payment voucher. So now coming to the payment voucher, it is coming in the form of debit and credit. It means we are to record journal entry. So if you pay outstanding rent, your journal entry is going to be outstanding rent account debit to Axis Bank account. So debit is outstanding rent. Okay, the amount was 50,000. Press enter. Now see, it is coming credit. Now if it's a simple entry, one debit, one credit, so automatically credit is coming, it's fine. If it's a complex entry involving more than two accounts, then we'll may have to make the correction here. It might be debit or credit. So rent outstanding to bank. Which bank we are to use? Axis Bank, because the instructions are very clear given there. Okay, so accept it. Now this entry is done. Look at the next entry. Payment made to Rama in full settlement, 2,40,000. Payment made to Rama in full settlement, 2,40,000. So which voucher number one we are to see, which voucher will be used. So since we are making payment, so for payment voucher, for receipt voucher, for sales voucher, for purchase voucher. It's as simple as this. But for sales and purchase return, you need to remember the debit and credit notes. For purchase return, debit note. For sales return, credit note. Now coming here, now when the amount is paid in full settlement, it means that there will be some discount received. You got some discount from this person because you paid this person 2,40,000 in full settlement of the amount. Now let us pass the entry. Okay, so payment voucher is here. So payment to Rama, just think of the entry. Payment to Rama will be Rama account debit. So Rama debit. Now it is in full settlement. It means you will be settling the whole balance, 2,77,600. Right? This the total balance is settled because it says in full settlement. Okay, now what will be credited? Rama debit to which bank? So as per the instructions, we are to use SBI Bank. But how much are we paying? We are paying 2,40,000. Okay. 2,40,000 we paid, and rest is again we are to check the debit credit. So debit is 277,600. It was in full settlement. So once you entered this amount, its balance is zero. SBI Bank. I'm sorry for this error. This N is not appearing here. Okay, current balance is 50,000. So you paid 240. Now the difference is your discount received. So debit Rama, and we are to record discount received. Enter this. Automatically the difference is coming because it is making the entry complete by writing the difference amount. If we are not able to find this, sometimes there is some problem, this amount is not coming, and then you are to calculate the amount of discount by deducting the two. So you can either do this calculation on your own or in your mind. If you want to calculate this here on the screen, then you can press Control N. This will activate the calculator here. So this calculator is coming here, and you can write 2,77,600 minus 2,40,000. Okay, you have entered this amount, you see, and it is giving you the difference, that is the discount. So close this window, we don't need it. Okay, we have entered the amount, so entry is accepted. Next, goods returned by Amita. Okay, so goods returned by Amita. Now who is Amita? Amita was the person to whom we sold the goods. So this is sales return. Sales return Amita Sherwani, 20 units of 800 and CGST, SGST. This is okay. Now when it's a sales return, so which note shall we be issuing? Credit note. For sales return, credit note. Let us see again how do we activate this. Come to other vouchers. Now all the vouchers are here. So credit note is coming here. Click on this. This is credit note. Now what is the party's name? Amita. All right. Okay. Now leisure account is sales return. So what is the name of the item? So whatever is being returned as given, Sherwani. Quantity was 20 pieces. It has automatically given us 800 because it relates your transactions to the previous one. So just check the amounts. Now SGST. Okay. 6%. Make the calculations. This system does it for you. CGST 6%. Okay. All right. Accept it. Okay. So next is goods sold to Sumita. So a sale to Sumita, smart casual, 100 units of 800 rupees. Okay. And Pathani suit, 75 units at 1500 each. And there is IGST 12%. Okay, so now we are to record this goods sold. So which voucher shall we be using since it's a sale? So voucher is going to be sales voucher. This is the sales voucher. So what is the party's name? Party's name is Sunita. And after entering this, we come to the main voucher screen. So sales ledger, automatically it shows this because this is the voucher that we are using. So what are the items? Smart casuals 100 pieces of 800 rupees. So 800 rupees. Next is Pathani suit, Okay, 75 pieces of the price 1500. Okay, now no other information, so we come to the end of the list. Now we'll be adding the tax IGST. IGST is 12%. So record this, entered. Now when we write here yes, when we click on yes, it asks us a lot of information. So it's better to click on no. Now the entry is accepted as it is. We save this. Okay. All right. Now the next transaction is sold all investments for 70,000. Now, sale of investment. Your investment was of 1 lakh rupees. Okay, 1 lakh rupees, you sold it for 70,000. So there is a loss of 30,000. Now, what will be your journal entry? Now, when you sell off your investment, your entry will be you get money. Since it's not saying bank, so we'll be receiving money in cash. So cash account debit 70, loss debit 30, and investment credit 1 lakh. Okay, so which voucher shall we be using? Now, since you are receiving money here, so when money is received on sale, so we have a receipt voucher. Okay, so let us do this. Receipt voucher. Now, your journal entry, in case you remember, cash account debit, loss debit to investment. Okay, now the entry is starting with credit. So, in credit side, what we are to write is investment. Okay, so credit investment account. So, sometimes it doesn't give you the entry in the proper format as we have. That is something debited and then credited. So if entry is asking you credit first, then you write credit first. Now debit, you are getting money, cash. Okay. Now the cash was 70 and you have a loss of 30. So loss on sale 30. That's it. This entry is over. So choose your voucher. Paid freight on sales 3000. So you paid something, so the voucher is going to be payment voucher. Freight 3000 paid. So payment voucher. This is your payment voucher. Now debit credit. It is asking the entry in debit credit. So your voucher is freight account debit. So debited is freight 3000 to cash, debit and credit. Cash 3000. Okay, now it is asking in debit and credit. Sometimes you are not comfortable with this system, you want it to be in the form of to or by, then herein you have H change mode. When you change the mode, then it may ask you the entries to be done in a single form. If you do it in single form, then the entry is like this: account is cash, and then the particulars you paid freight, and that is it. So it's up to you the way you want to pass entry, in the single mode or in the double entries type. All right, so this is done now. Enter, enter, enter. Okay, so accept it. This entry is done. Now next is rate paid. Received from Sumita in full settlement 263. Sumita 263 in full settlement you received. So consider the voucher. Since you received the money, the voucher is going to be receipt voucher. Okay, when you receive something, receipt voucher, you pay something, pay voucher, payment voucher. So we'll be using receipt voucher. Let us come here. Receipt voucher here. Clicked on this. So what was your journal entry? Remember your entry. You received money from Sumita in full settlement 2,63,000. So your entry is going to be cash account debit or bank account debit. Now your question stated that all the receipts and payments are done through SBI. Purchase, sale, payment to creditor, receipt from debtors is done through SBI. So you will be passing entry through SBI. Your entry is going to be SBI account debit, discount allowed debit to Sumita. Now the journal entry herein is asking credit first. So you are to credit Sumita's account. So just note down this Sunita's account here, Sunita, and since you received in full settlement, so the full settlement has to be from 265,600. 265,600. So full amount is settled here. Okay, now Sumita is credited with the whole amount. So this one is going to be debit. There are two debit and one credit in this entry. Had there been two credits, you could have changed it to CR. You could have clicked on C and it will be giving you credit option. Okay, but now we'll just change it. It's debit. So what was debit? SBI. SBI debit. Now the amount, it has automatically taken the total amount, but we know that it is 2,63,000. Okay, and what was the next? Difference will go in discount allowed. Alright, so it has automatically taken the difference. That's it. Now next. Transaction is interest paid on debentures through cash. Okay, so you are paying amount of interest. Your journal entry is going to be interest on debentures account debit to cash account, and the amount is going to be, let us see the amount of debentures. Your debentures are 3% debentures, 1 lakh rupees. So your interest for the whole year is going to be 3,000. So just think of the entry interest debit to cash 3,000. So which voucher shall we be using? So since you received the amount, it has to be receipt voucher. Receipt voucher, now what is to be credited? Just remember the entry in your mind. Now, if you receive it, receipt voucher, okay. Now herein you paid interest. So interest to bank. So your voucher is going to be payment voucher. Now the debit is going to be interest on debentures. Okay. Interest on debentures amount we have already calculated 3,000. Otherwise you can activate calculator through control plus N. Now credit is interest to cash because you paid it through cash. 3,000. That's it. Okay, now the next is depreciate furniture and fixture 20%. Your furniture is for 5 lakh. So amount of depreciation is 1 lakh. Now think of the journal entry depreciation to furniture amount is 1 lakh. Okay, so which voucher? Since it's neither receipt nor payment or sale or purchase, so it's a journal voucher. Now your entry is going to be depreciation account debit, amount is 1 lakh, and credit is going to be furniture and fixture 1 lakh. Alright, so all the entries are now being done. Now press escape. Now if you want to check whether all entries have been done, we have come here and you see you can check all your entries here. Alright, now company has been created, masters have been created, voucher entry has been done. Now the last step is drawing the reports. So whichever report is needed, it's very simple. Just go to the reports, balance sheet, click on it. You have got the balance sheet, but you see it's in abridged version. So to get the detailed version, just press Alt. Look here carefully, all the keys here, some are highlighted, some are not. Press Alt on your keyboard. So you see the remaining keys are highlighted. So herein you have F5 for detailed. So press on this, click on this. This is the detailed balance sheet. Now how to take this? Now come here to export. Now this will export the balance sheet to the relevant place where you want to have it. So current. Now you see the details are format of the report is detailed. Show vertical balance sheet, no, nothing. Then file format is PDF. Sometimes the file format is Excel or something else. You can change this. So for that purpose, we'll come here to configure, and then now you can configure everything. So just click on the arrow buttons and you can make the changes. Like here in you see company details, everything else will be coming here. Export setting, now here in it is PDF. If you do not want it in PDF form, then you can click on this and then you can change the form, but we should download it in the PDF format. Okay, it's not applicable. Now enter. Now again arrow keys, and You can change the name also. If you want to change the name of the file, you can change it again through entering the amount. Now it has been configured, and let us come back and export. Export, override balance sheet. Actually, in this system, I had already exported one balance sheet of a question, so it has been exported. You see, this is how the file is going to appear. Okay, now let us come back to this. Escape. Now suppose you want ratio analysis. Now this is the statement of ratio analysis. How to export it? Go to export, current sheet. Now by default the file name is coming balance sheet, so configure it. Now go to the arrow keys, and come here to the file name. Enter. Now change the name, ratio analysis. Okay. Now press escape and go back. Now you have configured. You see file name is coming ratio analysis export. So this way you can export any file that you need. All right. Now press escape, come to the main screen, gateway of Tally. Suppose you want P&L. Now this is your P&L. Go to the detailed form. This you can do in the export also. When you go for export, current statement. Now you see here in the configuration, you come here. What type of file? Format of report is detailed. So if you want to download the detailed file, then you can make the change here also. Okay, so anyway, leave it. The P&L account file name is correct. Export it. So this will be exported. In this system, it is asking me to overwrite because I have some solutions already exported, so it is overwriting those. Then you can have, say, daybook if you want. This is your daybook. Now if you want to export it, okay, now let us see. Yes, everything. Now the format of report is, see, condensed, but you want it detailed. As I told you, you can do this here in this sheet also. Now enter on this and it comes detailed. So rest all is fine. Okay, export it. All right. Then you may have any other file if you want. You can have stock summary. This is stock summary, and you can have the detailed summary also. So this is how you export the files. Now question arises, how to save these files in your own folder. So